The RBA is predicted to raise rates tomorrow. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee because the RBA is predicted to raise rates tomorrow. Now for those of you that have been watching at home, know the cash rate, the target cash rate is 0.1%. Let's jump over here and have a look at the RBA rate tracker from ASX and we can see here that it's, no change at the moment, 64%, and increase to 0.5% is 36%. This is the prediction here. Let's have a look at this article from Reuters, which is discussing an increase to 0.25%. Now remember, 3% used to be considered an emergency rate. Here we're looking at 0.25. I wonder what that will happen, or the impact of this will be on consumer confidence. We'll have to see. So, the Reserve Bank of Australia will raise interest rates for the first time in more than a decade on Tuesday and join a long list of central banks now expected to tighten policy at a much faster pace than previously thought, according to a Reuters poll. Now, remember when our Reserve Bank governor told us that rates will be fixed, or the cash rate will stay at zero, the target will stay at 0.1% until 2024. I'm just checking my calendar here. We're not in 2024, are we? We're in 2022 still. That's why all of us quickly rushed out, locked in at a low rate because it's never going to be this cheap again. I don't think in our memory. We've got a decade of rates only going down, so maybe we'll have a decade of rates only going up. A surge in inflation to the fastest annual pace in 2 decades last quarter led economists to rethink the policies of the RBA. They now forecast an interest rate rise just before a federal election for the first time since 2007. The median forecast in the April 27-29 Reuters poll of 32 economists showed the RBA would raise its official cash rate by 15 basis points to 0.25% from a record low of 0.1 at its May 3rd meeting. Half of the 32 economists forecasts a rise in the cash rate to 0.25 at the meeting, and 4 predict a hefty 40 basis points increase to 0.5. The remaining 12 respondents expected no change. So we'll definitely keep an eye on this for tomorrow. I should probably do a live stream when it comes out. That was an abrupt change in expectations from a survey taken earlier this month, when economists predicted the interest rate rise to come next quarter. Now that the rate hike genie looks as if it's out of the bottle, there are good reasons for the RBA to front-load the tightening that is inevitably coming, said Robert Carnell, Regional Head of Research at Asia Pacific ING. All the hurdles the RBA has previously placed in front of any rate hikes are arguably already met. The RBA has been gradually making room for itself to tighten in the coming months, but much higher than expected inflation in 1Q 22 means a May hike is in the frame. Economists in the poll also expect the RBA to pick up the tightening pace. Over 2/3 of the economists, 23 out of 32, forecast the RBA would raise the cash rate to 0.5% in June. 4 forecast it would move the rate up to 0.75 or higher by then. Among major local banks, ANZ, NAB and Westpac are tipping a first rise of 15 basis points in May, while CBA said it would happen in June. We can't rule out the RBA being more aggressive than we expect, delivering 1 or 2 50 basis point rate increases early on to get the cash rate target move more quickly to neutral, said David Plank, head of Australian economics at ANZ. This could come in August, when it updates its forecasts, or even in the June meeting after the RBA sees the details of the labour cost data. Median forecasts show the benchmark rate would rise to 1% by the end of September and to 1.5% by year-end, double the 0.75% predicted in the previous survey. Of 25 respondents who have forecast as far as the end of next year, 19% saw the cash rate hitting 2% or higher. Just think about that. We're going from 0.1 to 2%. So that's going to have it'll impact people's borrowing capacity. It'll impact people's discretionary spending. if you're paying more on your mortgage, you've already got one, you're going to have to tighten the belt. And that means some of the luxuries or some of the necessities suddenly become luxuries. That aggressive outlook, in part, reflects what other major central banks are forecast to do, especially the US Federal Reserve, which is expected to raise interest rates by 50 basis points in May and again in June. If the RBA acts, it will burden local borrowers who are already strained by record levels of mortgage debt and rising living costs, a major issue for Prime Minister Scott Morrison as he campaigns for re-election. When asked whether the RBA should lift interest rates before the May 21 election, 13 of 20 respondents said yes, the other 7 said no. The surge in inflation clearly suggests tighter policy is warranted, so delaying the first rate hike for political reasons is a mistake, said Marcel Theliant, a senior economist at Capital Economics. So there we have it, everyone. Predictions that the interest rate will increase tomorrow. Let's have a look at Trading Economics and see what they have to say about it. Where are we going? We're going for calendars. And we've got the RBA interest rate decision. And we can see here it is at 0.1%, everyone. Now remember, up here, we'll go back to 10 years. We'll go 25 years. Shit. Look how long it's been. In the last 10 years, we've barely been in the 3%. This was considered the emergency rate. Look at that. We've just been going down, down, down. So there's a decade of people who only know the rate's going down. Let's go 25. So when did it last go up? There you go, 2010, 2009, around there. That's when rates went up, and then it quickly went down. We go to the max chart data. We just catch a glimpse of when you had super high interest rates, just near the recession Australia had to have, everyone. Just going down. So could this be a reason why? Perhaps you've got so many people that can confidently argue property only goes up. Could it? So the consensus and the Trading Economics forecast are both predicting that the RBA cash rate will be up to 0.25% tomorrow. So we'll have to look. I will try, and I think it's 3 p.m. tomorrow. I will try and live stream it just as we have, so we can talk about it there. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this. Do you think this will make a big impact? We'll have to see consumer confidence. We'll check that out after this rate hike, the next data that comes out, to see if it actually dents that, or we're already starting to see some cooling in some of the housing. Sydney housing dropped a little bit. Hobart has dropped a little bit. But we'll have to see. We'll have to watch it for the next few quarters. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. If you're a fan and want to help out, there are a few ways you can. You can financially support the channel by joining on YouTube or Patreon, using our referral links from Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband, or helping us if you need architectural services. We have a lot of experience in education, commercial, or resource. Take care, and I'll see you all in the next episode of HeiseSays. Wow, maybe we'll see a decade of interest rates increasing. What do you reckon, guys? What a world we're living in. Hey, we may get a real recession. How's that going to affect a lot of people?